Welcome to this old house. Today we're going to build a new porch.
Your basics looking.
Welcome.
Hola.
Yeah. Yes. It is Sunday evening on Memorial Day weekend.
He looks outstanding. Red looks outstanding today. That is a
Yeah, look at him,
man.
I got shaved. I know I'm supposed to grow a beard, but
he refuses.
You look
tried,
younger.
but it gets. I start breaking out, and then I get obsessed. And someone likes on this call. Manning likes saying I get a little bit too. What's the word? Fixated.
Fixated. No, dude, that was your word. I took that from you.
I know you did.
I know.
It gets me now.
That's what I do, dude. I'm a giver.
Well, I'm glad I can make it this today. Last week we were in Daytona for Rockville, or better known as canceled because of Lightningville.
Oh, cool.
Yep, Friday was pretty cool. We got to see some pretty good bands like Kiss played Friday.
Kiss played Friday.
Yep, and then Saturday it rained. Like every big band either got canceled because of the lightning storms or they missed their flight.
Missed their flight.
Yeah, so I guess right now they're talking. I don't know if anybody watched this, went to Rockville, but they're talking about giving out refunds because the big bands weren't even there. The Guns N' Roses canceled 30 minutes. They were doing sound checks and they got canceled because of lightning. Korn was canceled. Megadeth missed their flight.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was ridiculous. And then I left early Sunday because those long days. That's a young person's game, man.
I'm gonna take all their dude off for a hot minute while he roams. I'm gonna wait till he's stable.
Going to the bathroom?
Yeah, I think he is. Wash your hands.
Wash your hands. When you texted me earlier, I remember one time I took a leak. And sometimes you forget. And this was, before everybody freaked out because of the Rona. But some guy came and was like, "Excuse me, sir, don't you think you should didn't your mom teach you to wash your hands?" I said, "Yeah, but she also taught me not to piss on my hands either."
Exactly.
That's very true. And no, I wasn't taking everyone to the bathroom. I was just turning the door because the dogs were going crazy. And right now, as you can see, I'm not using headphones.
Oh, okay.
We're trying a new laptop.
New laptop. Oh.
No, well, it's not really a new laptop.
It's new to you laptop.
I think people are going to miss the microphone migration during the show.
You did try.
It's like it starts here, and then by the end of the show, that's why I know when it's time to finish the show up because we're listening to your eyebrow.
I'm just doing, I mean, we like that, Super Saiyan thing, like putting the little eye thing. That's what I'm trying to do.
Super Saiyan.
Yeah, it's like that thing. What is it? Who was that? Jerry Seinfeld said he can tell his age of his father because each year his pants get higher and higher.
Oh, you know what is getting old? I think, when we were like teenagers, you hit puberty, you start getting hair in your armpits and down below and on your legs. And then when you hit like 50, you get like head puberty. Like your eyebrows, like if I get my eyebrows cut now at that barbershop. If they get too long.
I get like the evil.
Yeah, I look like Ming from
I get
that
Flash Gordon.
I get like the evil mustache that like curls. So yeah, that's always awesome.
All right.
I think I'm doing pretty good. I don't think I have ear hair yet. I think it's coming though.
It's probably definitely coming for me too.
Yeah.
Now, see, we didn't even do the welcome to the 3 Grey Nerds and tell people to smash that like button. Smash the like button. It's like what? Right there. Smash that like button. Yeah, smash it hard.
Yeah.
And like, subscribe, join in. We're gonna have a little bit of fun today. I really think we're gonna have some fun today. I had to change. I had to change my name because somebody says I like everything. So we're gonna have a good time today.
No, I called you
David Manning.
That's what I called.
Yeah. Know the story behind David Manning?
Go ahead, tell us. Let's lay it on.
He liked a bunch of movies that weren't that great, and he pushed it, and it made the reviews of those movies go up, which made a lot of people go see them and realize they were bad movies. Like The Animal, which is not a very good movie.
That was a funny movie. That was a good boat movie.
It was a boat movie. It was a boat movie, but it was not a very good movie. Yeah, it wasn't.
Animal.
Yeah, so it was a couple movies like that. He liked them, and he pushed them, and a lot of people went out and saw these movies that he said were good that he pushed, and turned out, which actually he doesn't exist. He wasn't a real person, but
we got that now. It's called bots. Like you go.
Yeah.
I think go pick like a. Let's see. Go look at The Force Awakens. Right? Or no? Yep. What was it? The second one. Whatever the second one was. It was what? Force Awakens.
Jedi, Last Jedi.
The Last Jedi. Go look at it on Rotten Tomatoes. Right? Look at the critic reviews. And I'm telling you, there's a freaking bot because a lot of them is the same goddamn one. It's the same review over and over again. Like somebody gets on there and just floods it.
Yeah, I thought what they did was they take words out of it. Like somebody says, like, I can't believe I just saw that. And when they said they've never seen anything like that before. It's like, no, that's not what they're saying. That's not what they said. They said it was bad, but they said...
I've never seen anything. That's how you say it. I've never seen anything like that. I've never seen anything like that.
Exactly.
It's hard to trust anybody. Like on Google now. Like if you Google, like I was talking to my buddy the other day. He came over. We watched Obi Wan Kenobi, and he's getting back into shape. So he said he Googled protein or testosterone shakes, whatever you take now.
Mm-hmm.
But like the first full page on Google is nothing but ads. You see, you click on one thing, and it looks like it's an article about it, but it's just an advertisement written into an article because at the bottom it says this is an advertisement.
All right, who got the vibrator or something going on there?
Oh, hello.
I just hear your dog. That's all I hear.
You hear me?
My dog.
I know who we're talking. His dog. It's Manning's dog.
No.
I can hear the little rabbit barking in the back.
Yeah.
Mine's like,
I don't know. I'm about to put him outside. He's a little dude, though. He's 6 pounds of terror.
Mine's looking at me like, what is that? Like, I want to eat something. I'm like...
Anyway, beyond the dogs. So how's everybody week? I mean, man, haven't seen you in 2 weeks, Bill.
I know. First of all, it's a short week, which I liked. No, this is a long week, but next week's a short week. Tomorrow's off, so
yeah.
I would say I'm going to sleep in, but my body's just like this morning. I was up at 7.
Yeah.
My body knows just get up.
Yep.
Is that an old guy thing? Do I so you get up at 7? You're like, oh, this is nice. Sit outside for a little bit, enjoy the morning dew, and then 9 o'clock you take a nap. Like
you go back to bed. You go back to bed. Exactly.
It's like what's on? Let's see what's on TV.
Have a cup of coffee and go to sleep.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I
he
don't
always
even think coffee works anymore.
I mean, that was good enough to
go see what now?
Obi-Wan.
We're not there yet. Calm down. We'll get there.
Yeah, I did get a lot.
We'll get there.
A lot of nerd stuff done this week. Yeah.
Okay. We doing the welcome. Let's finish the welcoming and getting everybody in, and let's have a little bit of fun, and make sure you throw in some chats on us, and say some stuff. Have a good time. All right. With that said, let's move on. Let's get on one of the topics here. New movie just came out on the 27th, right? 27th? Or the 26th? One of those days. Top Gun Maverick. We waited 20 years for this movie to come out. Tom Cruise said...
It was supposed to come out 2 years ago. So, yeah.
Well, I'm talking about it should have came out after the first one came out, back in 86. But, Tom Cruise said that he would never do a sequel to his movies. But obviously with the Mission Impossible, we're like on what Mission Impossible 38.
Yeah, I
That's still
lost
going
count.
strong. I know. I don't know. We're still moving on those, but he's finally done a sequel on this one, and there's some good things about it, some bad things about it.
I would say
So
so. Easy A,
I
I disagree with him because I thought it was an awesome movie based on the past couple movies we've seen. Like it's night and day. I would say it's
mhm.
an A. It it added. It was respectful to the fans of the old one. It added to the new one. Now I know there's probably some like maybe like things that are wrong with it, and I don't care about that. I really don't care about that. The average like moviegoer does not care. The two people to my left probably do care, but I thought it was awesome. The fact that they are actually flying in real life jets and it wasn't CGI is pretty kind of cool to see that they are. I mean, they probably weren't pulling 10 Gs, but they were pulling I don't know how many. Well, I mean, you can see it in their face. Like
if you they pulled a few, they
but I
pulled a
mean,
few.
I thought it was a great movie. Like it, and not to give anything away, like I'll probably see it tomorrow with my wife again because she wants to see it with her dad. So, and
don't
he's
think you're spoiling it. It's Top Gun. Like we all know it's going to happen.
yeah,
I
but
wouldn't
I mean,
spoil
it
like
was.
specific parts of the story.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
let me add in this. I've seen reviews, and I just want to say a lot of people that's done reviews on this suck because they've actually told the actual. You listen to their review, you hear the whole story what the movie's about. That's not what you're
yeah,
supposed to do. You're supposed to talk about your likes and dislikes initially, and then after that, a couple of weeks go by, then you give your full in-depth thing on it. But I didn't like a couple of people that did that. I'm like, man, they just told me the whole movie.
well,
That
you just said
stinks.
that you didn't like things about it. So, what didn't you like about it? Since you're probably gonna point out, like, hey, they did this wrong, but it's all military stuff. Which
Well,
I
it's
mean,
not all military, but one, I mean, we all know that Meg Ryan's not in it, and I kind of wish she would have been, being the
should they
mom.
explain why she wasn't in
I
it?
don't care what she looked like because Tom Cruise don't look like Tom Cruise. He
But
has a lot of makeup.
they explained why she wasn't in there. Like
Yeah,
that
I
was
mean, I just said. I mean, I'm just saying. I ain't saying why. I'm not getting into that. All I'm saying is, I
yeah.
think it would have been a nice add to the story
But
of
why?
having her in there
No,
because that's the mom,
no.
and one of the key aspects of the story has to do with her. So I think it would have been nice to have her in the movie. That's all I'm
But it
saying.
actually, so I disagree with you because I think it actually made Tom's character because he technically becomes the dad to Rooster. Everyone knows that name or the son. So he's already the father figure, and I mean I don't like he's very protective of the kid,
But
and
he's
it,
protected of him based on something the mom does.
but the mom makes him promise that
Don't go into it. I'm just saying it's based
but
on the mom. So it would have been good for her to be in
but
that. That's
she
all
didn't
I
need
wanted. That's all I'm
no,
saying.
she didn't need to be in it. She really honestly didn't need to be in it.
Okay, that's all I'm saying. We can disagree. It's all good.
Yeah, we can disagree. I disagree.
Fuck Meg Ryan. Okay, so I'm gonna give it an A because the way it was written. Okay, so first of all, Jerry Bruckheimer, right? Whatever movie he does, he's very respectful of the military. Like he likes the military. He did a freaking I think it was like a Navy recruiting video a few years ago. They played in movie theaters, and he loves the goddamn military because you've seen it in Transformers. You've seen it even when the military was in Bad Boys, and he's got it. And I always like Jerry Bruckheimer's angles. I think I started liking it when the movie Patton. Right, you remember when Patton was doing his speech, how he wasn't center stage, and then had the flag behind him.
Mm-hmm.
In the movie, Tom Cruise gets up and he's standing in front of the flag. He wasn't center stage to the flag. He had the majority of the flag behind him, and it was like an off kilter, an angled shot. And Jerry Bruckheimer is really good at that. Like I think it adds emotion to it. Even with a Bad Boys, when Will Smith is out there, he's like slow motion, like oh, and it's always the upper angle, and you can see him sweating. It's just intense. And then I like it that it respected, Top Gun doesn't have a Top Gun lore like Marvel has a lore or Star Wars has lore, but it has a story, and they stuck with it. There was no force woke. It just says, hey, look, this is the Navy now, right? This is how the Navy is, right? You're gonna have guy pilots, girl pilots, white pilots, black pilots, Chinese pilots, even Tad pilots. Tad was a pilot.
Bob.
And it just that's how the Navy is, And Bob was I gotta know. Bob's got to come up with his own movie. But I like it that it respected what it was given before in the 80s, and then grew on that. Instead of the F-14 Tomcats, they're flying F-18s.
Yeah.
Some F-18s are single pilot, some are two pilot because you got the operator in the back, right? It's just really, really cool. And the training montage, and everything felt right, even with the story, because we all know that Meg Ryan's not in it, but they went with it. And there was a few shout outs to the previous one, and they kind of explained why Tom Cruise didn't make Admiral.
Yeah,
he just doing his own thing.
Yeah.
It's
and I like how
I compared it to Ghostbusters Afterlife. You had a good story, and they kind of just build it all. They respected where it's coming from, and they gave us another movie. Same thing with Top Gun. They respected the original OG Top Gun, and they gave us something new and refreshing with new characters, and everybody had a good character arc.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I did laugh because Rooster, aka Goose's son. If you guys watch it at the end, there's a girl pilot, and she just basically said, "You're always to be in the friend zone in one touch." He's like, "Hey, I made it. Good job, buddy. Friend zone."
Yeah.
I liked how it started because it started exactly the same way as the first one did. Because at first I'm like, wait a second, am I in are we doing the first one and then the second one? Is this a special? Because we had Tom Cruise come on the screen and said, "Welcome to this movie," and then they did it was the exact same beginning as the first one. And you're like, wait a second, is this going to be a shot for shot remake? God, hope not. Let's please don't be like Star Wars. Please don't be like Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean that's what, man, you brought up a good point, because it's like the new trilogy. What they did was it was basically the same Star Wars movie, but with new people in it. They didn't grow from the story.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You want to see a continuation of the story. You want to see new characters, and I think they did a freaking outstanding job.
Yeah,
and and they did it on the ship, so all the other extras were sailors. Even though there's the one thing they were missing is I was disappointed when they didn't have any submarines in it shooting Tomahawks. That was bullshit. They had the opportunity.
I would say the Submariner in my family asked me, do they have submarines in it? And it was just no. But
they're there, though.
They were there. You just didn't see them.
Didn't see them.
Well, I mean, I sort of said they were under the aircraft carrier, Dad.
Yeah. There are two in the carrier group. So
he was asking about the aerial scenes, and I'm like, oh my god, it's. I didn't see it in IMAX, but holy crap, that it was pretty cool watching all the things they did in the air.
Yeah, didn't they? I think they were actually on the plane. They set the cameras up so they look like they're pilot, but somebody else was flying. They did all the scenes where they're feeling the G's on the plane.
Yeah. I looked into that. It seems like Tom Cruise sent, because he flies. So he sent them, all the actors, he sent them through a 3-month training course to get ready to do something like that. And, basically, Jerry Bruckheimer said that he basically set all the cameras up and basically was out of his hands. Once the cockpit shut and they went down a runway, that was it. Whatever they got, they got. The shots they got was with, and the way they acted and stuff like that is the way they did it. So it was pretty neat. Man. Yeah, so it was pretty neat. One of them said that I forget the guy that played Rooster. He said that he made a mistake and he deleted everything after they finished the flight. So I know that's probably a oops. Yeah, so you got to go back up again, and reshoot stuff.
But
but it's kind of neat that they actually did. I mean, I thought that was a neat aspect. I mean, granted, I mean it's part of the movie. You wouldn't know. I mean, now stuff with CGI was like the flybys and stuff like that. No plane is going to get that close to each other and do that. But I don't know. Splitting the difference between two, you're not going to do that.
Yeah, they did that in the trailer when it came up.
That's what I say. It's cool. I mean, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying.
I don't think it was for CGI. I think that was for camera tricks. They just made it.
They CGI'd it. I checked. Some stuff they did CGI. I checked. But but like I said, overall, yeah, it was done in the cockpit and shooting. And if you want, you can go to YouTube and you can sit down and watch the whole thing and how they did it, and listen to them interview and talk about it. It's kind of neat, in that aspect. But I am the guy that anytime I see a military movie, I'm the guy looking at the ribbons and going, okay, that shouldn't be in the right place. So I'm that guy. If you ever wonder, because if I see something in the wrong place, I'm like, oh no, that's it. They don't even know. They could have asked somebody and found that out. But
so they did. There was some controversy with the movie, with Maverick's jacket. Did you guys hear about that?
I think I did,
because there was a lot of the pilots have a Taiwan patch that goes on their jackets. I've seen it for real on actual, people's jackets. But because they had that on there, China was like, no, you got to take that off or you can't come over here and show this movie. So they did, either they CGI'd it out or took another shot of him pulling his jacket out.
Yeah, when he pulled the jacket out and put it on. So
yeah,
I don't think China's not letting them bring it in.
Yeah, so they took it out because China doesn't look at Taiwan as its own country. But that's a whole different video, guys. We can talk about that shit all night.
Yeah, that's political.
There was one part of the movie, and look, folks, I'm not spoiling it, but Tom Cruise is in a bar, and he's got to buy rounds for everybody, and his card was declined. And I'm thinking, I said, the dude has his own P-51 Mustang, like 8 goddamn motorcycles, and your card declines. Like, whoa, what are you teaching people there, buddy?
Yeah.
You don't carry your debt to the grave. That's what that is.
Well, one thing I was going to add in a real life situation. I do remember a spot that we went to, and the rule was if you walked in with your cover on and they rang the bell, you had to buy everybody that was in the bar around.
That's basically every Chiefs club, and I think the Horse Cow had a bell too. Yeah,
and of course, me being a newbie, walked in with my cover on, and the bell rang. But because it was early in the morning, first thing, the guy let me off the hook. He was like, you look green, dude. I'll let you go. But yeah, that was in Cocoa Beach, believe it or not.
Was that the green wheel?
Yes, it was. It was first thing in the morning. He said, I'll let you slide right now. You look kind of green. I was like, yeah. I'm the new guy.
I'm not even supposed to be off the hook.
So you let me off the hook. But yeah, like I said, that tradition, I thought that was kind of neat. That, ring the bell and you got to buy a round for everybody. I thought that was kind of neat. Brought back a lot of memories.
Yeah.
Well, it was funny the next day when, like, the guys who threw him out, they're like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
That was sort of similar to, like, when Charlie comes in and he's just like, oh, crap.
He was hitting on her. And then she comes walking through.
And I would say the bar scene, that was sort of, it was emotional because, like, he sees the son doing something. And so, yeah. I thought that was sort of, it was different. And I don't think they took chances, but I think it was well written. It respected the fans. It respected the characters. They moved the characters forward. Yeah, is it realistic that, Goose's son is 20 when the original was filmed 50 years ago?
In 86.
No, okay, we're going to spoil it, but he is a little bit older. He's not 20.
Yeah, he's not 20. He's
don't spoil it. Something happened, but don't spoil it.
But he's not like the age that he's not the age he technically is.
He's still nowhere near the age that he would be in reality. That's all. That's the point he's making.
I'm not getting too picky with that.
I don't care about that. Like, I still, Manning hasn't given a grade, so I'm kind of curious to hear what his grade is. He's been a little bit tougher on these, well, sort of, but not really. So, what do you give it?
As far as the fun aspect of it, I thought it was a lot of fun. And to me, that's the aspect of why you go to the movies. You go to the movies for an escape. I thought it was fun to watch something like that. The story, at certain times, it was a little cheesy to me. I mean, they tried the nostalgia thing, and I'm like, there's a nostalgia thing, and then there's a point where you get a little bit much, and it's like, come on now, okay, all right, we got it. I get the point.
Something
Let's
about
move
a
on.
bush and beating around it.
So I'm not going there. So overall, I'm in the B-ish area. I would not call it A. An A to me is The Godfather. That's an A. Like I said, I can't be the guy to give everything a 10 in the dunk contest. Because if you do that, everything becomes a 10. No, I'm not going to do that. But like I said, as far as a summer blockbuster movie, it hits all the bells and whistles for that. So it's a lot of fun.
In comparison to Batman, Doctor Strange, Morbius, what other? I don't even know. Doctor Strange. It's night and day over those. Like,
nobody could compare to Morbius. I saw a video.
Morbius is bad.
I saw a video of a cow doing a breech birth, and it was better than Morbius.
That was not a good movie. That was an F. Doctor Strange. I mean, it was an F.
I gave it a D. So that's what I'm saying. If everything's an F or an A, then what happens is everything in between, you don't have anything. That's why I said I can't be the guy at the dunk contest that puts a 10 up for every dunk, because for the first dunk that goes up, you're 10. Because if you do that, then from then on out, you skew and I do data. You skew everything from that point on. So that's why I give it.
This advanced the story from the original. Like, it did a good job. Like, it added to that story.
To a point. Yeah.
Of certain characters, and like comparing it, it's not even the same film as Godfather. Godfather is about mobsters. Like, this is about naval.
No, but I'm talking about as far as acting, as far as directing, as far as the script, as far as all that. When you start throwing that, when you throw that in, like I said, I look at the overall. That's why I give it a B.
Fine, like, based on, I mean, hey, we can get to the next thing, which the script sucks. So it was. I would say.
Can we do one shout out? Can we not tell? Could you not, everybody? Who I do give a 10 to? Jennifer Connelly. Oh my God!
That's the reason I'm giving it. Well, that's what she has aged.
Threw her in the movie just to have somebody thrown in the movie. I mean,
but she looked amazing. That old girl, she was in Labyrinth, man, with David Bowie.
Yeah, but obviously they didn't put Kelly McGillis in, and she even admitted that I couldn't be in that movie because I don't look age appropriate. Her words was, I look fat and age appropriate. So she herself said, I can't do that movie. I can't do that now. So that was her words.
So Kelly McGinnis, let me just look. I know she's born. Let's see, she
was older. I think she was older. Plus, she's like 5. She's like born in 6 feet tall.
She was born in 1957, right? And Tom Cruise was born in 1962. So there was a pretty good age difference there.
No, 5 years. Of course,
whatever goddamn Scientology lotion Tom Cruise gets, it seems to be working.
Well, if you look at what his opening, when he's addresses everybody in the beginning of the movie, that's no makeup, and you can tell he looks aged.
Well, yeah,
he looks. Yeah, he's older. I mean, okay, but in the movie, obviously, they did enough makeup, enough color to his hair. They did enough to make him younger. Cool. I mean, like I said, all power to you.
All power to you. I thought, like, it was a good story. I thought it was a good. I thought it respected the fans. It did everything that certain films aren't doing nowadays. They don't care about the fans anymore. So
True.
I mean, yeah, fine. It's not Godfather, but I don't compare every movie to Godfather. And the only reason
When you put something as an A, you
hold
have
on.
to set your scale
No, I
and then
don't.
adjust accordingly. If you do, then everything will be an A or everything will be an F. You'll have nothing in between.
Okay, so maybe instead of doing the A through F grading, we'll go back to a 1 through 10. And if it's a 1 through 10, I'm going to give it an 8.7. Right? If you're looking at something like Godfather, right, as being a 10 or a 9, I'm going to give Top Gun an 8.7, which is almost it's almost an A. It's a B, 87%,
B.
right?
That's what I said. B.
I'll give it a 9. I thought it was a 9. Like, I would say I would give it a 9 based on.
It would have been a 10 for Tad if they had the volleyball scene, right?
Well, the football scene was pretty good. But I give it a 9 because of it was just cool to see the fights in the air and like how they did the air fights. Like it was night and day over what we saw previously, so it was cool. And that's something new. So I think you have to give that props. I mean, was the script cheesy? Yeah, but it's Top Gun. Like we're not expecting like Oscar.
Yeah.
The Oscars are crap anyway, so we don't care what the Oscars say anymore.
Well, I'm not looking at that. Like I said, I look at overall story.
I would say
you know what?
that, and I know I'm a hard grader, but I like seeing things that are different. And I think Top Gun, did it surprise me? I mean, not a lot, but I mean, I like the story. I like, how they made it kind of like a human story. They made it, a story about family, kind of, and like I thought that was a good story. It was a nice change from being told, like the woke stories that we get told from Disney now. So it was night and day. And I would say like when I give things Fs like to, Doctor Strange is because they're not imaginative. Like Doctor Strange should be a straight up like horror comedy type of movie. And they totally whiffed on it. Because Sam Raimi has done some great like horror movies. Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness. Like we can keep going on. Like they wasted Bruce Campbell pretty much. I mean, he was funny, but I can't give.
It was cute.
But that's like the whole Snyder people, like saying, well, he deserves to be fan favorite because of one scene on a crappy movie. Like it's still a crappy movie. Like it's not good. Like it's not well written. It's not well like directed. It's not anything. And I don't think I'm being unfair. Like I'm not adjusting my scale. Like when I saw Top Gun, I was like, I felt like I was back when I first saw the first Top Gun. And that's a feeling I like to have because it was just like, oh my gosh, this was so cool to see. And like, but when I see Star Wars, that feeling doesn't exist anymore. It's just like, what the are you guys doing? Like to bring back, like, if you're going to bring stuff back, like to like refilm old stuff that we grew up like Indiana Jones, Star Wars, Star Trek, whatever else, Gone with the Wind. I don't know. But things that were
Gone with the Wind. That's already gone.
Yeah.
It blew it away.
But things that we're excited about, and if it brings back those feelings of like our childhood, that's a good thing. So to me, yeah, I'm being easy. Like, fine, I'm grading it, but I'm grading on the same scale. Like when I see Star Wars, like I want to feel like what I felt when I first saw Star Wars. Like it was like, holy crap, this is awesome. And now when I see them, like, no, like it just pisses me off. Like, and I don't like that feeling when I see like Doctor Strange. Like I'm expecting something different, and I'm getting the same thing that I've seen like in 15 other films. And it's just like, you guys make a ton of money. Like, why can't you like try to like make it somewhat horror? I mean, he's a magician, like supernatural.
He already beat the crap out of that movie, though.
No, I know, but I'm like, well, I'm only bringing this up because my scale seems to be, and I don't think my scale is off. Like, I'm just explaining the scale. But it, like Top Gun to me, the reason I'm giving the grade that I'm giving is because when I saw it, like the first couple scenes, that I was like, whoa, like, am I seeing the original or the second? And then when the title comes on, I'm like, okay, like I see what they did there. That's kind of funny. It's kind of cool. And as you go through it, you see like the progression. And it was like, and you're like wondering, well, why is Rooster so pissed off at him? And then you learn, and then you're like, okay. And then you see Ice, and you kind of, I mean, you can guess like what happens. It's not like, oh my god, it's surprising.
Not to knock it out. I do want to bring up Val Kilmer, because what they did for him was super awesome and very, very, very respectful. Because Val, I don't know if Val Kilmer's got issue where he can't speak anymore.
Yeah, he had throat cancer, and they took out. I thought they took out a section of his larynx or something like that. So he lost the ability to speak.
But they did good on him.
And that was like, to me, that makes up for like missing like Meg Ryan, Kelly, because to me, like the first film was pretty much, the film was more about Ice, Goose, and Maverick. Like that was kind of the story between those three, because Ice sort of is he's not the antagonist, but he sort of is, because he's the best. And it was sort of cool to see how much Ice cares about Maverick and how he kind of protects Maverick from himself, but he knows, like, he does things because he wants Maverick to do certain things, but he's doing it in like he's like an older brother to Maverick, or like guiding light. And so that was sort of cool. And I mean, fine, I'm a wimp, because that kind of maybe tear up a little bit. So like I wasn't fully a grumpy old man.
Well, I got to see Val Kilmer at a Comic-Con a few years back before he started getting bad. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, it broke my heart. I was like, man, this guy used to be cool, you know. Top Gun in the movie Top Secret. Remember that flick?
Oh god, the Pinto scene.
Just my camera here.
Yeah, that was a classic scene with the Pinto. When the thing comes up and it just touches it. And it blows.
Yeah.
Great play on something that actually happened, you know, making light of something that actually happened, for real.
Yeah. So for me, when I if we're talking about, you know, ranking movies, like, first of all, a movie, and I've been going to movies, like I said, you know, as a kid, I was a bike ride to the movie theater. You know, it used to be $1 something, $1.25 to get a ticket, and on Sunday, sometimes they would have old school movies you pay a quarter to get in, right? Mm-hmm. So I watched everything, and even today, man, I throw on, you know, Turner Classic Movies, and I love the black and whites. I do it. I love old school musicals and old school military and Wild West. But when I rank a movie, right, I want to feel excited. Like, I left that movie, I was like, yes. After the bullshit we watched earlier that morning, and we'll talk about it in a minute, it was like a refreshing. It was like the shit we watched earlier was like drinking Kool-Aid with no sugar. And then it was like you get that good shit later that day when you go to your friend's house, you know. But I'm not a cinematographer or anything like that. You know, I'm never gonna waste my money on doing college classes for that shit. But I do like, you know, the way scenes are cut and the way they act. You know, it's like when there's a scene in there where Tom's back on freaking the island. You know, he's riding his motorcycle next to the F-18 taking off. Like the way that the cinematic is, and you see it. I was like, if you can pause that and screen capture it, you can make it into a wallpaper on your computer.
Yeah. It's shot for shot what happened in 86, though.
I know, but that's a little bit of a throwback, though.
Yeah, that's part of that is where I said, okay, y'all got a little cheesy. I know what y'all trying to do. Let's move on.
What? That's like us going back to Norfolk and parking at McDonald's and walking all the way down the pier, because that's what we used to do. Just you know, you do that. You're gonna go. I looked at that like we reminisce. Like if you and I went back to Norfolk, and you know it's still there, we would drive by Carter Hall.
Yeah, it's still there, and I took a picture. You know, I shared it with you.
Yeah. Or we'll go downtown. Or we'll go a little bit farther down the road, and we'll go by the old house, right?
Yeah.
That's what he did. Old Tom was reminiscing, and I'm pretty sure that smile on his face was him reminiscing.
Yeah, to a certain point.
And I'm not even a Tom Cruise fan. Like, it's hard. It's hard for me to shut off his weirdness, real life weirdness, when I'm watching him in a movie, and I was able to. He did a good job.
Yeah. I would.
I know he's like second in command, waiting for that goddamn spaceship to come down and save everybody.
Like I said, I could care less about that. I just want to see a good movie. All I care about, dude, as long as you're acting, all I want you to do is act. Just do your job.
I mean, they definitely had those nostalgic scenes. I didn't take it as cheesy. I just thought it was fine. Well, I mean, we'd beaten up Star Wars, like whatever the first whatever. I mean, that was a hell lot worse than what. Like, yeah, there were a couple scenes that were throwaways with him riding the motorcycle, taking the girl, driving, like doing things like that, and like, sure, the way he flew was definitely, but like the reaction of the other pilots, like, holy shit, like we're in deep shit right now against this guy because we can't beat him. So it was kind of cool to like see like how the other pilots grew to respect him at the same time while he was trying to. And it was sort of cool to see Maverick try to teach people what he does, and get closer to them. And I mean, they did it, I think, in a good way. I mean, the football scene, yeah, that was a call out to the. But at the same time, he was doing that to. And I didn't know what the hell was going on in that scene. Like, and I know Bill thinks I was drooling over it, but whatever.
Like, Tad, you can't put your pants back on. This is a public indicator.
Well, I do have a story. So some lady, because I was coughing a little bit during the film, she's like, "Do you have COVID?" I'm like, "No." And 20 minutes later, she literally got up and left the theater. I'm like, "All right,
you know the fuck is dude." Okay, now you think I'm bullshit, but my boy James and I saw it, right? And the lady next to him was like a freaking like 60-year-old Karen with the short haircut, and she started hacking up half a goddamn lung. Like, I'm like leaning over, like it was bad. And she's like leaning over. I'm thinking, should I pat her on the back? Like, put your hands up, drink some goddamn water, lady.
I was drinking water, and then I had to pee like halfway through the movie, so it was that made it a little bit comfortable. It's like shit.
Yeah.
You know, 3 gay nerds, you got to have a pee break. We can't.
Unfortunately, I had it right at the end of the movie. It was right at the end. Like,
I waited. Like I was 5 minutes in when he's like on his transition to go back to Top Gun. I was like, okay, cool. And the bathroom was right there.
Yeah, thankfully the bathroom for me was close by. So
yeah, that's part of the getting older.
I just don't like getting up. You know, being 6'7", you're gonna get in everybody's way.
You block out the sun.
You block out the screen.
What's going on?
Hey, I'm 6'7", but I'm going the other way. So
yeah, Bill get up, be like, "Excuse me, excuse me, excuse me." Just block it.
I was like, "That's a huge bitch."
Just block the whole screen. You're like, "Oh God, you can't see anything." But
so other than the grades, I would recommend this movie. So I think Bill would, and I think
go see it.
Too.
I would. It was fun. It was fun. It's a summer movie. It puts you right back into that aspect of a summer movie. It is truly.
It was a fun movie to go see.
Yeah, it was fun.
I'll be curious to see how we're the recruiting numbers go after this.
Yeah. Well, it really didn't. See, I think the difference is the original Top Gun really put an emphasis on the Navy. I don't think this one. I mean, the Navy was not the major player in this movie. You know, as far as the backdrop. He was in the Navy. We understand that, but you know, the original one when they did the briefing in the ready room and all that type of stuff, it was like you was there, and that it was different.
I have to fix my camera again. Okay. What was I going to say? I lost my train of thought.
See, that's part of being a great nerd too.
Yeah, I know, right? If you're like a freaking 16, 17-year-old kid going to see this movie, you're gonna see the cool shit on the flight deck. You know, the point.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure the recruiting numbers won't go up as much because it didn't have submarine in it, but I mean that's But I think because you see that, like, so I remember seeing the first Top Gun, and then when I was in MEPS, so I was in MEPS for a year,
Mm-hmm.
and they gave you that blue Navy folder with all the stuff in it, and it had the F-14 flying on it, and the submarine at the bottom, and some stupid ass surface ships, but that was cool. Like you just carry that thing around. It's like, oh, somebody thinks I'm gonna be a pilot. Where you go? I'm gonna be a pilot in the Navy. Really?
Your eyes are a little bit red.
Well, unfortunately, I turned out to be. See, I'm telling everybody everything. I turned out to be colorblind, so that just ended my whole aspect of wanting to be a pilot. That was done.
Everybody in the military is colorblind, man. That's what makes us one.
That was it. As soon as they said that, it was like, oh no,
you couldn't even go and like be on the periscope. Like, if you could never qualify like contact coordinator.
No, I mean, I didn't qualify contact.
You could go on the periscope, but you couldn't stand and watch where it required you to be on the periscope.
No,
you got some oddball liberty.
Yeah, well, I learned how to. I took the course on how to do the photography and stuff like that with the periscope.
So, that was cool.
Yeah, that was cool. That was a cool class.
We would have to take the film canister out, and then we had we didn't have a dark room, so we had to do that shit in that cloth thing.
Yep, I could do all that.
That was a cool class.
It was cool. It was really cool.
Week off the boat. That's what that was.
It was cool though. It was really cool. I mean, doing the whole thing and doing the thing in the dark room and developing film and all that. That was cool. That was really cool.
Turn Nav Center into a dark room.
Yep.
Yeah, that was Now it's all digital.
Yeah, I'm sure. We're not. I'm like, I say I'm about to ruin the movie. I'm gonna move on because I'm gonna say something that's gonna ruin it. Because I thought it was a scene that I thought was awesome. That was awesome. It was a certain scene. Now how they got there, I thought it was cheesy. But let's move on. But anyway.
And go see it and bring your family and and learn from Tad's mistakes. Keep your pants on, especially during the beach scene, because it freaks people. That's probably why that lady, and he was coughing at the same time. She was like, what the hell's going on?
Well, maybe I shouldn't ask her, can you give me a proctor exam or
proctor? Well, I had the same thing happen, so I can't talk. And I'll give the story. I was eating popcorn, and you know how one of those kernel husks gets caught right in the throat, and it was just enough when I breathed in, I could feel it fluttering, which made me cough. And then I'm trying to cough it out, and then the more I kept doing it, and I was with my daughter, and I kept asking her for a drink, and she was going no, and I'm like, I need your drink, and I kept coughing. So eventually, the guy beside me, he got up, he said, do you you want to switch seats? And he switched seats with somebody.
I think Tad's coughing right now.
So
Tad was coughing.
It's not my fault.
Whoa!
Whoa! Port Angle. Yeah, C State got a C State 3.5.
Okay.
I gotta take everyone for a ride because I need to get a charger. So.
Oh my goodness gracious!
We'll do this. I'll take you off while you walk. I'll bring you back when you're stable.
So let's roll on to Obi Wan, shall we?
Oh boy, are we actually going to talk about this? This is going to be something else.
Okay, you know what? I know I was pissed, as soon as we watched it, but I said, you know what? Let me sleep on it. Let me go over it in my head.
Okay.
And what I'm going to say, it's.
Well, hold up. You got to do the setup for it, obviously, because we know that Obi-Wan was released. The thing I did like is they did 2 episodes. I thought that was neat because I hate going week to week on shows. I just don't do that.
Well, you know why they do that, right? Not just drop them anymore.
Yeah,
because they keep now because it's 6 weeks long, right? So you can't if it was just the whole thing that just came out like they used to, like on Netflix. You could sign up to Disney Plus, get your free month or whatever, binge watch everything, and then they can turn it off. Now when they release it once a week. You have to pay for a month. You can get a month for free, but that 6 weeks or 6 episodes goes past a month, and they get you. Disney style. Bend over, Mickey. Yeah, so right. Yeah. So it came out. Actually, it came out Thursday at 9 p.m. The folks at the Star Wars Celebration Thursday. Got to see it. They got to see it. And so I watched it Friday after I had like at noon. Okay. Now, I thought about it and I slept on it.
Okay.
And I think it's like it's the good, the bad, and the ugly. Now, the good was I think Ewan McGregor did a good job. I think his character, because everybody knows, right? He hasn't. The dude's been hiding out for 10 years. It's been 10 years since he saw his Padawan kill younglings.
Yeah.
Right, so that messed with him. Like he loved him. Like he said, "You're my brother." Because that whole scene at the end of, Revenge of the Sith was outstanding. Like I loved you, I hate you. I was like, "Oh, damn it!" I said, "That is freaking outstanding." Who's got the? What are you doing, Tad?
I don't know.
Oh my goodness!
He's on the
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
He's on the massage chair.
Are you in the massage chair?
No, I'm not making any noise. Oh, never mind. I see what's going on. My dog is over there going crazy.
So anyway, all right,
this is a PG. This is not a PG show, man. But I mean, come on now.
So Obi-Wan's kind of freaking messed up right now. He's probably dealing with some severe PTSD, like a lot of soldiers deal with, right? So it's probably a lot of really relatable. And Luke's uncle Owen is a dick.
Well,
I'm doing my review. Right? So that's the good. I like where's that, and he's like, well, you know what? I don't want to play the game. I don't want to do anything right now. And that he's living in a cave right now. Hopefully, at the end, he'll get his house. That was in New Hope. Now, the bad is cinematography, right? Like I said, this is coming from the same budget Mandalorian is. Okay, so everybody is watching us know we've seen Mandalorian season 2, right? And one of my favorite episodes in that one is where he meets up with Ahsoka. Ahsoka talks to Grogu, and there is some beautiful scenes, like where she's standing with Grogu talking, but it's a wide shot, and you can see the background and their silhouette. I'm like, that right there's a movie poster. Right there's the movie poster. I think everything in there looked clunky. It looked cheap. It looked like the Star Wars that came out in 1999, Episode 1 had better CGI, even with the ships. Like when the shadow flew over Mos Espa, the shadow looked like shit. I've seen better fan-made films than that. So I'm like, where's the money going? Okay, so that's the bad. And then the ugly is the freaking acting, right? And not just from, what's her name? Reva. Right, as they say now, Reva.
Yeah.
It's from all the Inquisitors, okay? So let's tackle Reva first. And you know what? Kathleen Kennedy, she already gaslighted us. Anybody says anything bad is going to be a racist, okay? And that's not even a fucking thing on this channel, okay? I'm saying here, it's not her, it's the writing and it's the direction, okay? Her character has no depth, right? She is nothing. She's been angry the whole. She's been angry. There's no depth. There's no emotion. And then the way she freaking kills, she just cuts that chick's hand off for no reason. Like, tell me why she's angry, right? Where's the backstory there? Why she killed the Grand Inquisitor, right? I tell you why, because, female strong. Like she's.
Well, he's not dead. He can't be dead because you destroy all the stories downstream from here.
They're going to do that.
Yeah, he's not going to be. I doubt it. But
he put a lightsaber in his chest. Yeah, he's a Force ghost now. All right, and then the other, like the Inquisitors, man, they have a big fucking chance, like to be awesome, and their acting's terrible. If you think they'd be on the same team, like they should all be angry. They're the dark side. All right, hey, mute yourself, Tad. You're vibrating a lot. There you go.
I agree with a lot. I thought the writing was terrible. Like seeing a 10-year-old like outrace 3 adults, 4 adults is not
Yes.
possible. I know Manning thinks, hey, once they go start running, yeah, my nephews when they were 10 couldn't outrace me, especially if it was just one of them. They would last 3 feet. That's it. I thought it was like really unrealistic. I thought introducing Vader at the end, like to me, was it. I would have introduced Vader at the beginning and have him. The reason why the Inquisitors are so pissed is because Vader's pissed. Because my guess is Vader wants a piece of Obi-Wan. The fact that, oh my God, there's Darth Vader. Well, Darth Vader's existed in this world for 10 years. I'm pretty damn sure Obi-Wan would know who that it is.
And here's my other thing. Why is Reva so obsessed with Obi-Wan? Right? That should be Darth Vader who's obsessed with Obi-Wan.
Right.
Right? Because she has not. They even said it in the story. Like they found her right already after Order 66. Within those 10 years, right?
Yeah.
Within those 10 years, they found her in the gutter because they keep telling her, right? And they're like, why are you so obsessed with Obi-Wan? Like there's no reason.
Yeah,
like if you were, this is what it should have been. Like if you were part of the Jedi Order before and you knew Obi-Wan and worked with him, like you would have been a main character, then turned to the dark side, then you had a reason. And the other thing is, like, if she's just brought in recently within the 10 years, how the fuck does she know that Darth Vader's Anakin? Nobody knows that.
Bingo. And that's
Nobody
the thing.
knows that.
Like, and and I think that's what you're saying is like Darth Vader's identity is only known to like high ups. It's not known by like the janitor of like the Inquisitors. Like,
Well,
I'm
think
sorry,
about it, right? The only people that knew that freaking Anakin changed to the dark side, right? Because they all those Jedi's confront Palpatine. Palpatine comes out with this spin thingy, kills them all, has a fight with freaking Mace Windu. Then Anakin comes in. Mace Windu would have straight up won that shit. Anakin comes in, cuts his hand off, lightning out the window, done. So now he goes over to the dark side. He kneels. He's Darth Vader. Still nobody knows. Then he marches over to the freaking Jedi temple with all the clone troopers, freaking wrecks all the Jedi there. There's nobody that survives in the temple. So nobody in the temple would have known who he is. And then he goes from there to Mustafar. So now Padme finds out about it when she gets freaking force choked, and Obi-Wan knew about it. And then Obi-Wan fucks him up. And then he's Darth Vader and he's in the armor. So nobody knows. There's no reason for her to know. I swear that they're doing I swear to God, this movie is going to be about Reva. The rest of the season is going to be about Reva. And Obi-Wan Kenobi is going to be a co-star in the show named after him.
Yeah.
And it's not anything they showed Luke, and now you get to add Leia because, female strong.
Well, and that's the other thing. Like, okay, if they know the connection between Obi-Wan and Bail, then that means the Bail, Leia's father, well, technically father, that means he's a traitor to the Empire, which means the Emperor should know, and the Emperor would kill his ass. If you're affiliated with Obi-Wan, that automatically means you're getting watched like all the time. And that's not true because that's not in New Hope. It was like revealed, and then Darth Vader blows up Alderaan because of that. So they're already changing things because they're saying, well, Bail is something. I think the way they should have done the story was you have Vader in charge. He's pissed off. Have him kill some of the Inquisitors because that would have been like badass. You just see him like tear through them, and Reva is the only one left alive, and he's saying, if you don't bring him back to me, you're going to be like the rest of them. And he just lays out like the Grand Inquisitor, all those, because Vader can kill all of them. And you'd be like, holy crap. And that would make more sense than the way they make Reva mad about everything. She's pissed, and she's like, but that would also mean the reason they do the things like they do, it would give them more things. And then I would say have them kidnap every kid in the Senate to try to draw out the Jedi. Taking one kid means
like she knew way too much for her status, her level in ranks, right?
Yeah,
And the other thing that's driving me crazy is the costumes for the Inquisitors. Like, I've been to Star Wars Celebration and I've been to a million freaking Comic Cons, and I've seen better cosplayers. It's like they've been hanging on Tatooine for a while, hunting that other Jedi, the young Jedi, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think there'd be some goddamn wear and tear on the uniform?
Yeah,
it's like
Dry cleaners.
something. Like, look at have some marks. Like, hey, you've seen some shit, right? Look a little seasoned. Even Kylo Ren's freaking Darth Emo ass had some wear and tear on his goddamn mask when we first saw him.
yeah.
Somebody just text me, Bill's right.
Bill is right. Like it's amazing that. I mean, it's writing again. I mean, I don't know why we're surprised at this point. It's writing. The acting was pretty bad. And I mean, okay, so Leia, like, I kind of liked how she was intuitive with her cousin and all that, but she was annoying as hell. And it was just her like,
well, she shut a boy down. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Female character shuts boy.
I didn't see that, but let's move on. I didn't see that. I mean, to me, it was just two characters. He was a snot nose anyway, and she tore him down. Okay, I didn't look at it being male female. I just looked at he was snot nose. She tore him down. That was it.
I'm with you now, and I can see that, and I think that kind of hinted at her being a little force sensitive.
Well, she was. I mean, I looked at her being a younger version of what we saw in New Hope, basically, and she had a lot to say, just like she had a lot to say in New Hope. That little girl was a better actress than Reva. Yeah. I mean, I agree with their writing for the Inquisitors. I agree with McGregor. McGregor was awesome. I thought he was pretty good at it, and I figured he would be a little jacked up. I mean, like you said, he's hiding for 10 years. Basically, everything that you've learned through your life collapsed, and now you're in hiding. You're not right mentally. You're not going to be right mentally.
His only friends were the Jedi.
Yeah.
Yoda's chilling out in Dagobah. They ain't gonna talk to each other. All his pals are gone. His best friend, his brother's dead. Old girl that used to be a Mandalorian, Bo-Katan's older sister, she's dead. And he kind of had a thing for her,
Yeah. So I would see where, yeah, he's not the superhero type character at this point. He's just hiding out. He's cutting the meat off of the off of the big whatever that thing was. He's cutting the meat off of that and hitting a little gonk thing.
I think that was one of those hyperspace whales, from Rebels.
Mm-hmm.
I
heard that.
I know somebody found out what kind of animal. It looked familiar, like I've seen this before.
Yeah. Some people say it was something probably.
Yeah, I think you're right. Like, it looked like there's like crash thing behind it, so it looks like it crash landed. I mean, I thought the writing was atrocious. Like, the first episode was boring as hell. I mean, it was just like, oh my gosh, can this just end? Like, we get Tatooine. Like, we know Tatooine is something, and that's the thing where I'm like, well, Vader knows about Tatooine, so why wouldn't he just raise like the thing? I mean, yeah. Owen is still there, but
he doesn't want to go back. That was smart.
Go back.
Obi Wan Kenobi smart for picking Tatooine because he knows Anakin's got too much history there and not want to go back.
Right.
It just he's like, that's out of rim, and Obi Wan Kenobi's laying low. That's why he hasn't used his force. He hid the lightsaber because he doesn't want to bring any attention because he's taking his mission seriously. Even though Uncle Owen is being a freaking a-hole, and he gave him the little T-16. That was awesome. That was the same one that
I thought that was part of that little nostalgia thing too.
I get why
that's a deep nostalgia.
Yeah, that was a little nostalgia in that one.
But I get why he's being an asshole to Ben because he's like, you were the Padawan to Anakin, and Anakin is dead. So he doesn't like him. Like, he has no, but I mean, he did stand up to him or to whatever her name is, Reva. He did stand up to her, but he didn't do it for Ben. He did it for Luke. And I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. Like you see, like he actually loves the kid and he's willing to protect the kid. I mean, so that was sort of cool. Like you see kind of a rivalry between the two of them. But at this point in time, we don't need world building because it's Star Wars. We already know. So we don't need world building for one episode.
We're just getting a new element of the story already inside. Like everybody knows about Tatooine. Everybody knows about Obi Wan Kenobi. And now
let's go forward. The second episode was it was just.
Well, where's it going to go from? Because old girl already knows they purposely she paid for them to kidnap Leia from Alderaan, right? Mm-hmm. So if he got her throw back on the ship, you know where she's going. You know where he's going, so she's already going to be like waiting for him. He's got to take a detour.
But that's the thing, like that's bad writing because if he returns her to them, then that means they're in line or they're part of the rebels, and the Emperor would have them killed instantly. Palpatine, if this story comes out like, hey, we kidnapped Leia and then Obi-Wan rescued her, how stupid is Palpatine? Palpatine, from what I've seen, is not a stupid person. Yeah, but this makes him a stupid person.
That's a good point, man. If this friggin' rookie ass freaking Inquisitor can figure out that there's a connection between Leia and Senator Organa and Obi Wan Kenobi, I'm pretty sure Darth Vader and Palpatine can figure the shit out.
Yeah, I don't. It's bad writing, and and this is where my ranking comes in. Like it's an F, like because the writing is so bad because it doesn't respect what's come before.
We're doing numbers now, Tad. We already talked about this, man.
Zero. It is zero.
I can't make. I mean, is some good in this somewhere?
No, there's no good in this. Like
it is some good in it somewhere. It's somewhere. I mean,
where Ewan McGregor was great in it, but it's not enough to make it. Like I would cancel Disney Plus based on these two episodes. Like I want to cancel Disney Plus because it's that bad. It's not worth my time. I know I'm supposed to watch the next 4 episodes, which I'm really thrilled about watching. But I mean, I would have made the story between Vader and Obi-Wan and how Ben is dealing, or Obi-Wan is dealing with his PTSD and going. Oh, someone wants to cancel me. Yeah, cry a river.
So it's, we cancel you. It's all good, dude.
I don't care if you cancel me. Go ahead, cancel me. It's not good. Like they've had 20 years to like develop this, and it's terrible. Like it's not. They didn't do anything well. Like none of the characters are good. Like I would have made it a rivalry between Vader and Obi-Wan. That's how I would have approached it, and just not have them meet, but have Vader just sending like Inquisitors, like whoever he has, like to search for Obi-Wan. Because I guarantee you, Vader wants to kill Ben. So,
sure.
And after 10 years, Vader would be probably pretty pissed off that they haven't been able to find him because he's supposed to have all these resources. So, I would explore that story, and that would give Reva like more motivation, especially if Vader kills like Inquisitors around her, like just tears through them. Like so, again, Disney lacks imagination, and they're killing another franchise. They're killing Star Wars.
I don't even know why. I think the Inquisitors should have been a side story, because if you read the Darth Vader book, right, it was Darth Vader. Like he should be the one that's obsessed with Obi-Wan. Like he was sent on missions by Palpatine, right? And especially he was sent on missions with Grand Moff Tarkin. And there's like, hey, our goal now is to get fucking shit ready for the Death Star. We need to get supplies. We need to get. But then they go to a planet, and then they find a room, and there's a Jedi, and Darth Vader goes, I got to kill this Jedi. Right? So the regular mission goes off the rails because Darth Vader's so goddamn obsessed with finding the Jedi so we can get to Obi-Wan. That's what they're missing in this story. And then I think you can probably bring in the Inquisitors. And I think they need to have we're not gonna get a good character arc with Reva, right? Because she's so angry right now. I can't see her going from freaking angry to being a good guy. It's just not.
We know
gonna
that's
work.
what's going to happen. Like she's going to become good toward the end of this. Like it's predictable. Like she's going to become good.
She's going to be the one that saves Luke.
Yeah, because she's going to like turn him around or something like that, and it's just no, they shouldn't bring back Mace Windu. It's called Obi Wan, not Mace Windu. I just would have concentrated more on Vader and Obi Wan. I think it's a major mistake that they didn't do that. It's. I mean, we see Vader at the end in like his bacta tank, but
we know that they ever running. They don't see each other till New Hope, right? We know this, but the story should be parallel, right? You should see part of the story with Obi-Wan, him coping with what happened 10 years ago, him running into scenarios where he wants to be a Jedi, right? Like he wants to, like, I could just do this. I can do a mind trick, or I can, force lift this guy and save him. Or if I have my lightsaber, but he fights it. And then, I think the story is just, he tries to avoid it, but he has to do it, And on the other side, it should be Darth Vader's story, him still having flashbacks of the day Obi-Wan cut his legs off, still having flashbacks of Padme, and just that part is obsession. But that part makes him Darth Vader, right?
Right.
Because he has a hatred for Obi-Wan, and that fuels his dark side. That's what it should be.
Yeah.
Now,
and they just failed that
goofy ass. It's like these Inquisitors was like a nerd club. They signed up for that shit on the fucking galactic classifieds.
They're like the Snyder fans. They're the Snyder fans of Star Wars. They're just. I mean, there were so many opportunities that they could have done with this. They failed miserably. And it's just sad because it's not like Disney doesn't have any money, and if they actually put money into it, I mean, we've all seen TV shows that have lasted 4 seasons that have great writing. Like, why can't Disney get good writers? I mean, seriously. I mean, I'm watching Suits right now. I had to watch Suits to get Obi-Wan out of my brain because it was so bad. It's just like, oh my gosh, like, why couldn't you handle like these writers? Like, it's not action, but like they have good interactions and things like that. And it's well written. Like Farscape was, I mean, it was cheesy, but it was like good writing. Like it
original.
It was original.
It was original. I give it that. Well, let me add in my little piece. All right, because I've listened to the whole thing of the woke culture and Reva being woke and stuff like that. I did not see Reva. I did not see her as woke. The writing for her was not very good. She the way that she acted, it did not seem like a Star Wars type thing. The Inquisitors, they were, to me, they were the weakest part of this whole thing because they didn't command a presence. It should be when you saw them, you should have been like, something's about to happen.
Hey,
but you didn't feel that. Yeah.
Can I ask you a question? Do you think Reva should have had a mask? And then you saw how badass she looked, but after she was like away from the crowd, she took it off.
Well, I mean, yeah, you could have done that. I mean, either way, I just think she didn't. I mean, they didn't write her where it commanded a presence. Now, what I'm being told or what I'm seeing is the reason why she's mad is because she was one of those children at the very beginning of the show. And, and she has that feeling like the Jedi didn't do anything to help them out. All the kids died, and the Jedi, they're cowards. They did not come to help us out. So they're not going to, so, I mean, That, and plus she probably was brainwashed into hating him too. On top of it, because now she's an Inquisitor.
Well, the Grand used to be a guard at the Jedi Temple. And
yeah, he used to be a guard at the temple.
But
so
I mean, it's just badly.
I mean, I'm not saying they executed it well. I'm just saying she was one of the children at the very beginning. That was supposed to be the thing. So now, will they develop that? We'll see. I mean, because we're just starting out. We'll see. I mean, we just started, so I have to reserve because y'all making me watch week to week when I would have waited to watch them all at one time. But
that's what noobs do.
But that's the whole thing. I mean, so okay, fine. I mean, so I'm leaving it at that. Like I said, I did not see her as woke. I did not see her as, woman power. I did not see that. She was just a bad guy that they did not write well. Just like the rest of them. I mean, I thought the guy was. I found out the guy was Han from Fast and the Furious. I thought that was kind of cool. I said, "Oh, look at that! There's Han." But that was about it. They should have did a better. They should have did a better job of writing it and arranging it. Now, I always have a thing when anytime somebody takes a story and they progress it real fast, they don't have an imagination. I always say that. In any show I watch, anytime I see right at the beginning the grand reveal is already put out there, that means you just threw that out there just to get people to watch, and you don't have anything ongoing from that point on. So you will see the next few weeks.
Of Vox Machina, much better. First 2 episodes of Reacher, 1,000 times better. Star Wars has 1,000 times the budget of both of those. And those but let me ask this question. Have you truly sat back and watched New Hope again? Have you sat back and rewatched it?
Yes. Yep. Okay.
I always say this, and I say this to anybody that watches New Hope for the first time, if they've never seen it. I'm like, okay, it's the imagination for it and all that stuff is wonderful. I mean, you're teleported to a whole new universe, and all this stuff is brand new if you've never seen Star Wars before. But you have to give a little leverage to the acting, and that's because Carrie Fisher's mom was she's old Hollywood, and there was a type of dialect that old Hollywood used in those old black and white movies, and it wasn't a New York accent and it wasn't a Midwestern accent. It was a mesh between all of that. And it's a horrible accent. It is terrible. So you have to listen to Carrie Fisher do this accent. And that, to me, that's the weak part of New Hope. Listening to Carrie Fisher gets on my nerves with that accent. But if you get past that, I mean, the imagination and all that stuff for the story is wonderful. So to me, as far as certain aspects, when you're looking, that's why, like I said, you can't grade everything on the same scale. Because certain things have nuances of good. Certain things that you look at the good, you look at the bad. You look like Bill did earlier, the good, the bad, and the ugly. There are certain things that are ugly. Like I said, Reva's acting is the writing for her and the acting for her is terrible. I mean, they should have done a better job with that.
And her costume, like
the costume. I didn't like it.
She's too clean hair. Like she looked like she just woke up. Like this is like day one of the job, clean, right?
Oh yeah. She shined her boots and everything.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I know she's probably trying to be squared away, getting that good ass eval.
But like I said,
she's not scary. Like she's not intimidating.
Yeah, it's not intimidating. Like I said, she doesn't command a presence. And like I said, the reason why from what I'm watching and when I'm being told she's angry is because she's one of those kids at the very beginning.
Yeah,
the Jedi has abandoned them completely. And all her friends are dead. All her friends are dead, and the Jedi did not help. So
what are you supposed to do?
But the point, all the Jedi are dead. All the Jedi killed. I mean, all the Jedi did not help. They couldn't help. They're cowards. And she was stuck on her own while all her friends were being killed. So yeah, she should. Okay, you wham, but she should be angry, and I expect her to be angry Now, was she over the top? Was that acting of her being angry good? No, it was not. And that
it was one dimensional.
It was over the top. Yeah, it was over the top, and it was one dimensional. Now, her cutting the hands off of the lady. Hey, I've seen enough mob movies, and I've seen enough movies where the bad guy just does something, and they're like, "What you do that for?" And he's like, "Hey, I just do the way I do it. That's the way I do." You know.
She cut that lady's hand off, and then talked to Owen. There was no time for like a partner with crowd reaction. It was like, "Oh my god!" Oh, now she's
that's what I'm saying. I mean, that's what I'm saying. As far as her acting, I will wholeheartedly agree.
Have to try to find
it could have been better.
I got to see something else that she's acted in, so I can see where she.
Yeah, to see her range and see where she is. I mean, because I'll admit certain things that Michael B. Jordan did in Black Panther, I didn't like it. The "Hey Auntie" line that he does in Black Panther was like, come on, man, what's that for? So it's the same type of thing. Yeah. It's like it's thrown in, and it's like, hold up, that's not what you would say. That doesn't fit. What was it? It's a movie Wesley Snipes is. Oh, Blade. In the movie Blade, Wesley Snipes does a line when they're in the hospital and the cops come in and start shooting at him, and he does a certain line. I'm not going to repeat it, but he does a certain line, and I'm like, huh? That doesn't fit. Whoever wrote that, or if he improvised it, they should have cut it and been like, hold up, we need to change a little something because it didn't fit. So that's what I'm saying.
This episode ugly. Like there's more ugly in these two episodes than there is bad, and then there's good. There's one good thing. There's Ewan McGregor's acting, and then the story arc is ugly. The writing is ugly. The acting is ugly. The world building is ugly. The fact that the first episode is boring is ugly. The fact that they're saying, hey, you have to believe that this low-level person knows who Darth Vader is. It doesn't.
We'll see why. I think that's coming. If they're smart, I'm going to say if they're smart, I'm going to add that in. That will come late. That should be part of how.
Never know who Darth Vader is. The only people who know who Darth Vader is like the Emperor and like high level like military personnel. She is not any of those things.
So the Grand Inquisitor wouldn't know?
No, they wouldn't know.
But wasn't he a guard at the temple?
Darth Vader specifically tells people Anakin is dead. He separates himself from that. He tells people Anakin died. Right? Because freaking Obi Wan didn't even know, dude.
Yeah. So Obi-Wan how would she know
that? But besides it, Reva telling him that Darth Vader is Anakin, right? It would have been cool if he found out another way. Right? It would have been better because right here we're still 10 years in. What Jedi's still available to come show up to talk to Obi-Wan, and it wouldn't ruin anything, is Ahsoka. And at this time in the timeline, Ahsoka knows Darth Vader is freaking Anakin because she has that fight with him at that temple. That would be a good way to do it. I mean, look, who was the director? What's her name? Chow, right? All she's got to do is get up from her desk and walk over to freaking Dave Filoni's desk or call him. Dude's right there. He's Clone Wars. He's right there.
Yeah. What did you write on this? You say, oh yeah, because I did such and such. Okay, well I got to add that to the story.
It's gonna be a hero. I think she has a better name too. I don't think that name.
I mean, like I said, I'm still. Like I said, as far as the world building, I think they world build just because they're trying to angle it with her. Now she takes over the show. Yeah, I'll be like, I'll be the first one to say. Dude, they went wrong. They went wrong with it. They went wrong with it.
I think we're all in agreement here. Yes. I'm not going to fail it yet. I want to see where.
Yeah, I'm not failing it yet. Too early. Too early to fail.
This is
all I'm saying is zero so far.
Yeah, we're gonna go. So far. I can't give it a 0. It's too early to give something.
We'll wrap things
okay,
up.
So what do you grade the first two?
I'm giving it like.
Incomplete.
It's gonna get better. Yeah, it's incomplete.
That's an incomplete. We're not there yet.
I want to look at everything before I give my final grade, but we'll give our opinions every week. So I think we're all in agreement
Yep.
Am I going to cancel Disney Plus after this? Probably.
Yes.
All
I
right,
get it for free.
Yes.
let's go ahead and wrap this show up because that was pretty good.
The Bill has he might get killed soon, so we should wrap it up. So well,
I gotta go take care of my beautiful wife because she's got swollen feet. She got bit by a yellow fly, and if you're living down south, you know I'm talking about there.
Oh yeah, things are
They're all
brutal. Let's do our quick closing comments and
Top Gun. See Top Gun.
Yeah, go see Top Gun.
See Top Gun. That I'm being positive. See Top Gun. Maybe Obi Wan gets better. Okay, we'll see.
So see Top Gun. That's our comments. That's our closing comments.
Again, I mean, I'd like to hear from somebody that is not into Star Wars as much as we are and what they think about Obi-Wan.
Yeah,
I'm interested in seeing what my nephews thought about it because they're kids and they grew up with like the prequel, so I think that would be interesting.
Look, we were kids when we saw Return of the Jedi and we thought it was amazing, but as we got older, our worldviews make it like we're salty now, so we're like,
yes.
Back then it was like fucking Ewoks. Now we're like, goddamn Ewoks. Should have been a Kashyyyk. Should have been Wookiees.
I agree. So next week I might be nicer. Doubtful, but
okay.
I'll talk to my nephews and see what they thought about it.
Maybe your nephews can help you set up your camera so you come in 4K. Maybe you look handsome, more handsome.
Dude,
than
you're
you
the
do
one
now.
that's freezing up on me right now, so
yeah.
You look like the Wolfman in the corner.
Thank you.
Oh man,
like that. I called you Wolfman.
Wolfman Jack.
Jack, you remember Wolfman? Hey,
oh
kids,
yeah.
come down here. We'll play some rock and roll. Hey, question before we go. What movie had Wolfman Jack in it, but was also directed by George Lucas?
Oh, that was the one. That was what's the name with Harrison Ford and Richard Dreyfuss and had all of them in it.
Yeah.
Oh god.
And it was kind of a prequel or kind of
for Happy Days.
Yeah. American Graffiti.
American Graffiti. See, I knew that. I knew the answer.
Hey, maybe next week we'll do our little trivia game show.
Okay.
It'll be you two versus each other. I'll come up with the questions and I'll come up with a little game board we can share.
That'll work.
And the loser has to do the following podcast shirtless.
I don't think you want that.
You don't want none of this.
I think our fans do. They want to know.
They see all my tattoos and stuff. You don't want none of that.
All the ones from the Yakuza in Japan.
Yeah.
We're gonna get
and my one is right here, Winnie the Pooh.
Pat's gonna take his shirt off. He's like, it's gonna be like a dolphin and a killer whale, like doing like a simultaneous jump on his back.
One day I have to visit you, though. One day.
All right. Let's close out. We thank you guys for listening to our conversation and our arguments.
Like arguing.
Yeah, right. That's what it is. Next week. Check us out next week.
Go on Facebook. Give us some ideas, man.
Yeah, give us some ideas. Give us some likes. Subscribe. Hit that, smash that bell so you know when we coming on. Do all that stuff. Y'all have a good week.
Like these guns. Nice.